Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is time for just a word from the Word. Today's passage comes from the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verse 23, and I'm reading from the King James. And this is talking about Jesus. And when he, Jesus, had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. Now, we could talk a lot about the circumstances that led him to go apart in the mountain to pray, and that would be a worthy discussion. We could talk about the events that this day represents in the life of Christ, and that, again, would be worthy discussion. But what drew my attention this morning was the fact that Jesus went apart to pray. Do you remember the old hymn? Maybe you've only just heard of it, but Sweet Hour of Prayer. When's the last time you spent more than 10, 15, 20 minutes in prayer? Does it always have to be a full hour? Not necessarily, no. In our busy lifestyle, it's hard sometimes to get that time, though I think it's worthwhile to make that kind of time. There is something special about setting aside time just to spend with the Lord in prayer. It's sweet. It is a sweet, sweet time that you and I can have in the presence of the Lord. For sometimes that just means coming in to that time of prayer and just thinking of all the good things that God has done. That makes it a real sweet time of prayer. Because what happens, at least what happens for me, when I purpose to go into prayer with just a heart of thanksgiving, the more I begin to thank God for the blessings that I have, the more blessings I see. And so then there just becomes more thankfulness. And by the time I'm done, I don't even know how long I've been in prayer. Time doesn't even matter. I'm just so overwhelmingly grateful that it's sweet. Or the times that, most of the time, when we bring our needs before the Lord, do we linger long enough to remember that God has heard us? Oh, how sweet to be heard by the King of the universe, that he would take the time to listen to us. How sweet it is to know that we can go before his throne boldly and that he will hear our prayers. Sweet hour of prayer. Or what about the times that you find the Spirit of the Lord leading you to go into intercession? That can be sweet as well. How? Intercession's hard. The way I have found intercession to be sweet is knowing that God has allowed me to get into that inner sanctuary of prayer. He has called me to that place of intercession. He's called me because there's a need that he longs and desires to answer. So whenever I feel the Lord calling me into intercession, I know that that prayer is going to be answered. That becomes sweet. Oh, sweet hour of prayer. This morning's just a word from the Word is this. Go into prayer. Rebuke the devil. Fight the fight. Worship the Lord. Bring your needs. Go into intercession. But I pray that your time of prayer is sweet, that it is precious, pray God's blessings upon your prayers today. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning.